Hello, everybody, and welcome to Keksi Society. We're going to watch Aimvs and baking videos, and today we're going to watch 4 Aimvs, and I have 2 baking videos up, and if we keep enjoying them, we can always watch more. Hi, Little Reaper Jr. Okay, so let's watch Little Reaper Jr. first. Here we go. Oh, hey. I'm sorry, I was having technical difficulties. I'm here now. I promise. I figured it out. I'm just gonna have to... this is still like only my 4th stream, so I think I'm just gonna have to reset the stream key every time. Hi. Hello, cookies. Okay, we're gonna watch Little Reaper Jr.'s I Can't Find You. Okay. Yep, it's doing it again. Hello, and welcome to Technical Difficulties with Keksi. Oh, okay, just that one tab. Okay. The one I needed. Okay, thank you for letting me know you hear me, but not the video. Let's try this. Yay, we can hear everything now. Oh, I like that.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hiding by the manor door, past the hall.
I like this style too.
Glow. Where did they
Thank you.
Go? I'm searching. Where are you? I can't find you. I can't find you. Please don't hide so far from me. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Whoa.
I have searched the garden gate. Chapel bells are tolling low. Where did they
I think one of those people were sideways, but that's okay.
I'm lost now. Where are you? Why can't I find you? Why can't I find you? Please come back and answer me.
Sometimes it's not good to live forever, huh?
The torches fade. Wake up from where you're laid. Only ravens answer no. Where did they all go?
Oh, necromancer.
Where did they all go? Please come back to me.
No, that was one way to never lose your friends. That was really good. Good job. I like the animation, when you like made it all jittery. I like that. It was cool. It was really good. I like the style too. I always like those unique styles. You're welcome. And thank you for the entertainment. So now we're going to watch Grumpy Whiskers' new video, because I like Grumpy Whiskers. I know that it was edited. It's really cool. And I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool that more and more people, I'm seeing it more and more that we are doing more and more editing in the Aimv, so that's cool. Oh, it's her research path. Yeah, that's cool. She became a neck because of the loss of her mother. Oh. Keep your mom around forever. Okay, so we're gonna watch Grumpy Whiskers, that one cool cat.
What is it, little one? You want that cool cat story again? All right, but then it's bedtime.
Tell it how it actually happened this time.
I always do.
You arrived on a bus.
A mysterious midnight coach.
Oh, that's cool.
The 11:30 bus.
Music! Every joint had a velvet rope, a rule for your hat and a rule for hope. Whiskers combed in an approved straight line, 3 signed papers just to step inside.
4 on Friday.
Its mission cost 1 paw and a tail.
Drinks not included.
And strange new sounds got shown the rail. Then one cool cat rolled into town, white glass eyes, suitcase black.
That's cool.
He read the rules and gave one grin. If there's no room for us, we'll build our own inn.
Yes,
Club.
yes.
Same thing.
We will
Don't
build.
rush me.
We will build our own
He
club.
found an old dusty joint by the tracks and poked his nose through the cracks.
As cats do.
1 chair, half a bar, 3 walls and a stage.
2 walls, one was leaning.
A piano with 7 good keys.
5.
He swept till sunrise and painted till 2. Hung golden curtains.
Brass painted blue.
Gold from the doorway. The point is it's shown. Carpenter, barkeep, promoter, 1 cat alone. He named it the Cool Cats Joint. All whiskers, welcome, come swing tonight.
Nice.
Posters on lampposts, windows and stairs, under parked cars and barbershop chairs on your
gonna
milk
work under the
cartons.
car.
Mine said missing.
He made unknown players look 10 feet tall. A drum, a pianist, and bass joined the show. Then a trumpet yelled, "Move over!"
The pianist found the right key Thursday.
3 patrons at first. By Friday, the street was packed with cats drawn in by the beat.
That's cool.
Then a famous horn cat heard something was new. Known from here to Nashington too. She left grand rooms where old customs gleamed and followed the road where new music dreamed.
A curious sort.
As cats are.
That one especially.
She raised that sax, let 1 bright note fly.
Every tail in the room stood 3 feet high.
And then she came along.
Oh, don't you start.
The whole room went quiet.
The drummer dropped a stick.
Oops.
Same thing.
Come a little closer. Cool cat, don't be shy. Leave those tired old rules sleeping outside.
Bring your strange rhythm. There's room beneath this moon.
You were staring.
I was studying the acoustics.
From the bar?
Best acoustics in the building! Soon paws were flying on the polished floor. Our tails kept time while they begged for more. The songstress purred and the brass blew hot. Every player got a turn in the spot. The owner worked the door, the lights in the bar. Kept the whole joint jumping long after dark.
And slept every 3rd Wednesday.
A businessman needs discipline. And the old dog started to bark. Improper! Unproven! Shut it get down before dark. Respectable cats choose official locations.
Official prices and official constipation.
Yep, they would, wouldn't they?
They wrote stern letters to 4.
Yeah.
Nailed one to
You
their
danced
own
in chat.
front door.
They said the joint would never last.
To an audience walking past.
Cause the louder they bark, the longer the line. Cats know a good joint every single time.
That's
All
true.
bark, no bite, all rules, no swing.
Yeah.
You can't chain a rhythm once the whole town
Support,
sings.
yeah, support official club. Like, no.
Let 'em bark.
When they bar the
Make good
door,
stuff, official club.
bring your whiskers, your traveling grin at the cool cat's joint. Every cat gets in, no pedigree papers, no bagging, no fright. Pull up a chair and come swing tonight. Oh, look, he's fast asleep already.
Aww.
Yes, you've bored him to sleep.
Aww.
As intended.
It works every time.
Good night, little one.
That was good. I like the story. That was really good. Me too. That's why I like watching Grumpy Whiskers. Even going back and watching some of the older stuff, you know, like when he was still learning. I love his stories. So, yep. If you won't let us have our own club, we'll make a cool club, and then our club's gonna be better than your club. But only if support the official clubs, they say. No. Hey, you know what's funny? You could join our club. They said anybody can get in, right? You don't want to lose your club because you're not as big over there, are you? Over here, everyone's equal. You don't like that. Yep, Skybro Scout. Yep, I saw that. Yeah. It's true, though. That was really good. I really like Grumpy Whiskers stuff. Okay, now we have Play Astronomical. I'm buddy. Yeah, I like all the cameos. Whoa.
Rain is falling harder every day. Washing colors from the world away. Winds are howling loud inside my mind. Pulling everything I left behind. Thunder crashing
Waterbending.
through the open door. Trying to find a place to rest once more. Heavy storm world. I wake up to the same old heavy sky. Clouds so low they almost touch my eye. Ground is soft and pulling in my shoes. Everything I touch just turned to loose. Tried to stand
I wish we had more vending machines. I miss them.
Tried to see but vision's turning red. All the noise is quiet in my ear. Hoping at the end is somewhere near. Rain is falling harder every day.
Their transition was a little weird.
From the world away. Winds are howling loud inside my mind. Pulling everything I left behind. Thunder crashing through the open door.
That transition was weird.
Trying to find a place to rest once more.
This is weird. Oh, there we go.
Time keeps moving, but I stay in place. Every smile is just an empty face. Rain keeps falling on the window pane. Drawing lines that look like tears of rain.
Ooh, I like that guy.
Tried to fight, but every blow lands soft.
Oh, thank you.
Tried to
Following
leave,
me on
but every
YouTube.
door is locked. Shadows follow close behind my back. Turning all the way to deepest black. Looking for a crack inside the wall. Hoping for a moment I can call. Brother short and hair Watching colors from the
Ouch!
world.
Ooh!
Winds are howling loud inside my mind, pulling everything I left behind. Thunder crashing through the open door.
That's cool.
Trying to find a place to rest once more. Fading lights are dimming in the haze.
Oh, there wasn't very much force there, was it?
Everything's quiet in the maze. Trying to
Not the vending machine, no!
brighter days. Heavy storm world.
He seems so light. Oh, no, no, no. Is he gonna fall on him? Oh. He's gonna fall on him. I think that was a cool concept. I definitely think that there's a lot of improvement here, but I think, like somebody was saying, the more you do AIMVs, the more you learn and the more you grow. So I don't discourage anyone from doing them. I think they're great. It slips and slides, but Play Astronomical has made serious improvements in animations. I agree. FM, hey Null FM, thanks for following me. I'm gonna watch your video next. So glad you're here. Woo! Thank you. Yes, I think that the force and weight are definitely. I don't know enough about like each individual AI program to know what is the best one. I mean, I'm using ZDance because that's what people said was the best, but I don't know about like the other ones because they're probably cheaper, but there's a reason why they're cheaper, right? So that would be interesting to look into those and see what people use. Especially people who make a lot of AIMVs. I know he makes a lot of AIMVs, so curious. So now I'm gonna watch Null's I'm Not Sure.
Got my trainers on, still stuck in my head. Dreams too big to fit in the life that I led. For time today, I've checked that door.
I like the style.
If I'm not perfect, then I'm not sure. Mom said, rate yourself. I
Whoa.
laughed and shook my head. Into a big chat, then go quiet instead. Pocket full of plans, but my hands go cold. Swear I had fire, now I'm watching it fold. One step in, then I still hear my
Yeah, I can see why it's on your playlist. It's great.
I'm not at all. Watch me wobble, watch me fall. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. I want the key, but I still got the
My surfboard.
I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. Tell me I've got this. I don't know no more. Every little glance feels like a test. Every small mistake gets part to my chest. I laugh with the lads, but I cut it thin. Whole world looks easy when you're not in it. Built like
Yep, that's true.
Still lose my nerve when nobody's around. Talks to my skull like a dodgy mate. Pull it together, then I hesitate.
Yeah.
One good day I can touch the sky. Next day I'm back with a why even try.
Yes, this song is relatable.
Say I'm calm, I'm not at all. Watch me wobble, watch me fall. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. I want to be free, but I still got the door. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure.
Like his Granny Walker.
I don't know no more. Maybe I'm rough around the edges. Maybe that's half the charm. Maybe the shake in my voice ain't a sign I'm disarmed. Maybe I'm learning the hard bits minute by minute, bit by bit. If I keep showing up, mate, that still counts for it. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. I want the key, but I still got the door. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. Tell me I've got this. I'm learning more.
Fake it till you make it.
Sure, mate. I'm not sure. Still got a pulse, still kicking at the floor. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. Maybe
Oh, I like the key.
I trust more.
That was awesome. Good job. I like your style, and I like all the stuff that you've been posting on Twitter. Oh, I'm gonna have that tongue stick in my head. You do good work, Mel. I will probably be jamming to it later. I have my jamming playlist. You guys do good work. I can't help it. I had a lot of stuff to my playlist. I do like it. Yeah, I like your stuff too. I need to watch more of your stuff. I think I've only watched 2 or 3 of your three. I think I watched 3. You're welcome. There are really, really talented people in this AI space. I think you guys deserve a lot more love than you guys are getting. It's kind of crazy, like, who is getting the attention in that space. But I want to shine a light on everybody. Everybody works really hard, and I know like I said, I've been working on my Aimv, and it's taking me forever. So, you guys all deserve all the credit. Like, everybody who works on an Aimv, like, actually puts, I'm not saying, like, slop tubers, like, what is it, Fruit Island? like that, maybe not love Fruit Island, but... Oh, okay, so that was our last Aimv, and now we're moving on to the baking stuff. Obviously I picked chocolate chip cookies, right? Because my cookie. AI has allowed people to be creative in a new way that wasn't possible before without lots of money. Yeah, that's true. And you could, I mean, with free gens and stuff, I mean, you could make an Aimv. It'll take you a long time. I mean, you get 3 gens on a lot of different, if you can get the style to match, you could probably do it pretty quickly. You get 3 keyframes, and then, like, VOD will offer you a couple of free gens, so like 2 a day or something. So I mean, if you're not on a time crunch, you could theoretically make a free Aimv over a long period of time. Oh my gosh, is YouTube working now? Oh no. I didn't know that YouTube wasn't working right now. Oh no, I didn't know it wasn't even on. Oh no. It's still having tech issues over on YouTube. I thought it was working. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh crap. Okay, well, that sucks. Yeah, I thought I'm still new to streaming. I didn't know that was not working. I don't know why I thought it was working. Thank you for joining me on Kick. I seriously thought that YouTube was working. Oh no. Okay. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel really bad now. I thought that it was working on YouTube. Oh no. Yeah. Ugh. Now I know why there's so many people on Kick. Okay, we're gonna keep going. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to work out the technical difficulties. Kick also has a faster response time than YouTube. Oh, does it? Yeah, it's just not going live for some reason. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to call YouTube a bust tonight and then fix it tomorrow. Reply to chats. I can reply? Oh. You can't reply to chats on YouTube? Oh, I guess you can. You can just go at. Okay, yeah, that's just gonna have to be what it is. Yeah, I don't, it doesn't look like you can. Okay, I'm just gonna call it a bust on YouTube and just move on. I don't have time to figure out tech difficulties if I haven't figured out this far. Thank you all for watching it with me. And okay, we're just gonna move on. I'll just let them know. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna watch cookies.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear aprons. And I can think of no greater hero than Ruth Wakefield, inventor of the chocolate chip cookie. So today I'm going to be baking Ruth's original recipe from 1938, as well as her recipe for making cookies during World War II rationing. Then I can do a side-by-side tasting at the end. Chocolate chip cookies. This time on Tasting History. So there
Good
are
night,
lots
all.
of
Thanks for
stories,
joining me.
mostly myths, about the invention of the chocolate chip cookie, but they all agree that it took place at the Toll House Inn in Whitman, Massachusetts, in or just before 1938. 1938 is definitely when Ruth Wakefield, who ran the inn, printed the first recipe in her cookbook, Ruth Wakefield's Toll House Tried and True Recipes. Though she actually called them chocolate crunch cookies, which makes me think that they're going to be crispier than some of the chewy chocolate chip cookies that you can find today. So the recipe says, cream 1 cup butter, add 3/4 cup brown sugar, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, and 2 eggs beaten whole. Dissolve 1 teaspoon soda in 1 teaspoon hot water and mix alternately with 2 1/4 cups flour sifted with 1 teaspoon salt. Lastly, add 1 cup chopped nuts and 2 bars, 7-ounce, Nestle's yellow labeled chocolate, semi-sweet, which has been cut in pieces the size of a pea. Flavor with 1 teaspoon vanilla and drop half teaspoon
Sorry, I just wanted to check stuff.
cookie sheet. Bake 10 to 12 minutes in 375 degrees Fahrenheit oven. Makes 100 cookies.
100
So this
cookies, guys.
recipe
We need to make 100 cookies. I probably do. I have to make 100 cookies a day.
is not all that different from what you'll find on the back of a bag of chocolate chips from Nestle Toll House, or as Phoebe says,
Nestle Toulouse.
The major differences are today they don't dissolve the baking soda into water, and the nuts are very much optional.
Yeah, the nuts are
also,
optional. I
you
don't
don't have
use
to
them.
chop up the chocolate today because now we have chocolate chips, which are made expressly for this purpose. In fact, you can't even get Nestle's chocolate bars anymore. I don't think that they sell them, so you gotta use
But
the
if I
chips
want a chocolate
if you
bar?
want to stick with the type of chocolate that she was using. Lastly, the size of these cookies is quite a bit different because she says this makes 100 cookies. So they're going to be pretty small because the modern recipe, which is about the same amount of dough, only makes between 50 and 60 cookies. So to make this original recipe, start by creaming the butter in a stand mixer until it's nice and smooth.
I don't know.
And then add
I don't know what
3/4 cup
happened there.
brown sugar, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, 2 beaten eggs, the baking soda water, and the vanilla. Then
there's
add
like
the
little
2 1/4
pieces.
cups flour, which
Yeah, if they're little pieces of peanuts or something. I don't particularly like nuts. I don't want them in my banana bread or my cookies or anything, but I understand like a little bit of that extra crunch, a little bit of texture. Some people like it. Fitzgerald likes it.
has the salt already whisked in. Mix this on the lowest speed until everything is just combined. And finally, add the cup of chopped nuts, I'm using walnuts, and the 14 ounces of chocolate chips, and mix until everything is just incorporated. Now you can of course do this by hand, but Ruth was using a stand mixer.
Oh,
Hers was
I
a
don't know what
Hobart
happened.
Big stand
I don't know what happened on YouTube. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't know. Stream 4, everybody. Stream 4.
mixer, but you can also do it by hand. Now the recipe doesn't say anything about chilling the dough, but in interviews, Ruth was very explicit in saying that the dough should be chilled overnight, so I'm going to follow her lead and do that. Now a few years later, the recipe had to change quite a bit because of the outset of World War II, or rather America entering the war in 1941-42, because rationing kicked in and it was hard to get some of the ingredients, especially the sugar. Yet there was an effort for home bakers to send these cookies by the boxful as care packages to the men on the front. As this ad states, "Dear Mom, the boys will make you an honorary general if you'll just send us more Toll House cookies."
Who doesn't like a good cookie? Of course. I know that they got like a bunch of chocolate bars and stuff too, so. What would you guys want to eat on the battlefield? If your sweetheart was gonna send you anything, or your mom, what would you want them to make you?
So what's a 1940s housewife to do? Well, luckily this ad also provided a recipe for Toll House cookies without sugar. So to make those, you just need to replace a few of the ingredients. You replace the butter with 1 cup of shortening, and replace the sugar with 3/4 cup strained honey and 3/4 cup maple syrup. The rest
That's
is
sweet.
pretty much the same. Start by creaming the shortening, honey, and syrup together, then add the 2 beaten eggs and 1 teaspoon of
cookies.
vanilla. Then whisk together 2.5 cups
Not the
of
ones that the
sifted
Indian
flour,
step on, though, right?
that's a bit more than the other recipe, along with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. By this time, they've totally ditched mixing the soda with water. Gently mix that into the batter, and then add the 1 cup of chopped nuts and the 14 ounces of chocolate chips. Again, I'm going to let this dough chill overnight. Now, once they are chilled, the recipe says to drop half teaspoonfuls of dough onto a baking sheet. but a half teaspoon measured out of dough, that's like
tiny.
2 chocolate chips. It's just absolutely not enough. And it's going to leave you with far more than 100 cookies. So it's best to do this by weight. They're going to be about 14 grams a cookie or so. The other thing is, while the original dough is very easy to measure out and shape into a ball, the one made with the shortening, that's darn near impossible to measure because it's just so soft and sticky. Even after chilling it for 10 hours, it was still just really soft.
I know you're supposed to chill your dough, but 10 hours.
Ball, so I just kind of eyeballed it and plopped it on the baking sheet. Now, these are going to be crunchy cookies. They're called chocolate crunch cookies after all, so you're going to expect them to spread quite a bit and get very thin. So leave about 2 inches between each cookie. Also, in later interviews, Ruth Wakefield said that she would press the cookies down, so that's what I'm going to do. Not sure that it's going to matter, but
I was going to say, they're going to be very tiny.
Again, you really can't do that with the shortening version, so just leave them as is. But both get baked in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 Celsius. Now, both of these recipes say to bake them for 10 to 12 minutes, and ovens were different back then. I have an old oven. There's a reason I don't use it. They're inconsistent. 10
They're cool, though.
And 12 minutes, that was too long for me. I ended up going with 9 minutes, and even then, they were still very, very dark. 10 minutes, they were burnt. So just keep an eye on them. You're looking for a nice golden brown color, and while you watch your cookies, let me tell you a little bit about
peanut butter chocolate chip, like a Reese's cookie. I know that there's several people in this house that like that.
the history of the chocolate chip cookie. The year is 1938. Ruth Wakefield and her husband Kenneth have been running the Toll House Inn in Whitman, Massachusetts since 1930. And despite being the Great Depression, business was booming, and the inn was always packed with guests clamoring for Ruth's New England cuisine and delightful dessert.
Dude, can you imagine like the original Toll House cookie, first time, and then like making a skillet cookie with like freaking like ice cream and caramel? That'd be freaking delicious.
Ruth's menu was no stranger to praise. Restaurant critic Duncan Hines himself said that her Indian pudding was the kind of dessert that makes a fellow wish for hollow legs. Indian pudding being one of the oldest...
Everybody just knows everybody, don't they? Just find somebody famous.
desserts in America made from cornmeal, molasses, egg, and milk, so it's kind of like bread pudding, but made with cornmeal. But even with the inn and restaurant doing so well, Ruth was never one to rest on her laurels, and she was always working on new recipes with her staff to wow her customers. Enter the chocolate crunch cookie. Now, there are many myths about how this cookie was created. Some say that she was actually working...
You know, they're being so small and everything. I wonder if they were more of a, like a garnish or something. Like something that adds with, like, a little bit of extra crunch to another dish. Because that kind of comes off like that.
Working on a different cookie and ran out of nuts, so she added chocolate instead, though the recipe also calls for nuts, so I don't quite see how that works. Others say that she expected the chocolate to kind of melt through the entire cookie, making it a fully chocolate cookie. But since she was a trained home economics teacher and
at the top, you can only learn from peers. It's almost by design that we have celebrities got to learn from other best. Yeah, that's true. The more you get good, the more other people that are also at that level will see you. And I think it's really interesting too, right? Like Toll House started as a mom and pop shop, and then like people were like, oh, they're getting a lot of attention. So then other bigwigs come in. I mean, how many mom and pop shops make it huge? Like nowadays. I mean, obviously they do, but I think it's rarer. Topping for ice cream. Yeah, I think a topping for ice cream, that would make more sense, right? That'd be good. A little crunch on your ice cream.
And had been baking for years. She would have known that that was not going to happen, so that's a silly story. Perhaps the silliest is that the Hobart machine, the stand mixer, was shaking so much that
I just feel like it's a lot more rare.
to knock some chopped chocolate off of a shelf into the dough, and she just kept going. It's kind of silly. No, the story is much more mundane than that. It was just that after a trip to Europe, she and her head pastry chef, Sue Brides, decided to come up with a new cookie. But it wasn't until 40 years later that she finally put these myths to rest, and she kind of leaned into some of the mythology.
Don't waste your money on DoorDash. Don't do it.
Of the cookie and of the Toll House itself. In her cookbook, she says, in August of 1930, Mr. Wakefield and I bought a lovely old Cape Cod house built in 1709 on the outskirts of Whitman, Massachusetts. At one time, it was used as a toll house where passengers ate, changed horses, and paid toll. Nope, that is not true. In fact, it wasn't built until like 1817 and had never been used as a toll house, but it made for a good story. It kind of held on to that colonial history, and they had already painted 1709 on the sign. What was true is that almost immediately after their creation, Toll House chocolate crunch cookies were a local hit. Yeah. And she didn't try to keep the recipe to herself. She would actually hand out hand-typed cards with the recipe on it to different guests. And one of the first people to receive this card was a woman named Marjorie Husted, a name you might recall from the episode on Betty Crocker, because Marjorie Husted, at that time, for all intents and purposes, was Betty Crocker. And so shortly after coming up with the cookie, it was featured on the immensely popular Betty Crocker radio show. I can remember we hooked up a little radio in the kitchen and stood around listening to Betty Crocker tell about the Toll House and about the recipe for cookies.
Pre-YouTube, like you just go to the radio. Although you can't like find it. You couldn't like research the radio for a recipe. You'd have to wait. Yeah, I mean, back then it was, you didn't hoard stuff, like you shared it, because like, right? That's how you would get like famous and stuff. You have to share it. Like now it's like if you share it, then you lose money because we have, I mean, it's worldwide. I mean, they even talk about how China steals properties if you get it over there. So you just got to be careful. Yep, mass distribution. Back then it was easier just to let people have it, and then the name came along with the cards. But now you can mass distribute it online, so you can copyright it and be like, if you try to sell it, then we can get you. But we still mass distribute it online, right?
But what really made the cookie take off was the fact that the recipe was being reprinted in all these newspapers in New England. And in February of 1939, the Boston Globe reprinted it with one minor change. Instead of calling it a chocolate crunch cookie, they called it a chocolate chip cookie. Now, Ruth's recipe specifically calls for Nestle's chocolate, which at the time was sold in bars. But it turns out she actually wanted to use Baker's chocolate, which was produced not very far away in Massachusetts. But at the time of making the cookie, her wholesaler was out of Baker's chocolate, so she used Nestle's instead, and that turned out to be really fortunate for Nestle.
Yeah,
because
seriously?
in 1939, they saw a 500% bump in sales of their semi-sweet chocolate in New England. And so they came knocking on Ruth's door looking to get her official endorsement. And Ruth says that there were several chocolate companies that came a-courtin', but since she had already written the recipe using Nestle's, that's the one that she chose. And on March 20th, 1930...
I wish sponsors worked like that. I'm just gonna sit here and drink my drink, you know? Coca-Cola, come sponsor me. Lipton with your iced tea, sponsor me. Come knocking at my door.
39, she gave the company the right to use her recipe and the Toll House name. And for this exchange, what did she get paid? I signed off for $1. Of course, you never see the dollar. Though it said she did receive free chocolate.
There is a Keksi cookie company that I did not know about until I became Keksi, so I could get the Keksi cookie company to sponsor me.
For life, still probably not a great business deal for old Ruth, but how was she to know? Now, as soon as Ruth had given the sign-off, Nestle began printing her recipe on the back of every semi-sweet chocolate bar, and soon they realized that the only reason people were buying this chocolate was to make it into the cookies, so instead of having to chop it up, they scored the chocolate bar into 160 tiny little pieces, and then in December of 1940, they figured, well, let's just break them up in the factory, and they introduced the teardrop-shaped chocolate morsel. What with all of American manhood from 6 to 60 clamoring for cookies with small bits of their favorite flavor, chocolate, flecking them throughout, This simple device is a boon to the hurried homemaker. No more sitting around having to break up chocolate into tiny little pieces, because the chocolate morsel or chocolate chip was here to stay. But in World War II, even the companies sometimes had trouble getting a hold of sugar, so they'd had to make some alterations to the chocolate chips, which made them very, very hard to eat. One executive even admitted that
Ads are
people
crazy
had
back then,
complained
I'm sure,
of
yeah.
chipping their teeth on the chocolate chips. But regardless,
I mean, they had to be, right? Like, you don't have the access to everyday humans. You have newspapers, you had billboards. You mean, you could scream in the radios and stuff. Like, you had to be big. Flash mobs would have been great ads.
chocolate chip cookies became one of the most popular baked goods to be baked at home and then sent in care packages to the front. Now that Nestle's semi-sweet chocolate is harder to get because so much of it is going to the fighting forces in emergency and combat rations, put it to the best possible use. Make a batch of these golden brown, crunchy Toll House cookies and send them to that soldier boy of yours. As it said, much of the chocolate that America was producing at the time was already being sent overseas in the form of the D ration. Though much of these chocolate bars were of a lower quality and tough to chew, so a home-baked chocolate chip cookie, even if it was a few weeks old by the time it got to you, was definitely preferred. This is probably why they became so popular, because as people started coming back from World War II, they associated good feelings with this chocolate chip cookie. This led to multiple companies putting out their own version of chocolate chips, and in the 1950s, Nestle introduced a Toll House cookie mix. This was followed by them and Pillsbury making a completely pre-made cookie dough served in a tube,
which you're never supposed to eat, but I guess they actually now they make it so you can eat them, but back like when we were growing up, you shouldn't eat it. But that's not even a new thing. That's just a recent thing. But I guess so many people were eating them that there's just like, okay, we'll just make it so that it's edible.
which is still the best way to eat it. Like, don't even bake it, just straight out of the tube. Other companies began selling already baked chocolate chip cookies, most famously the 1963 introduction of Chips Ahoy. Now, while chocolate chip cookies have become one of America's most beloved creations, sadly, the location of its creation is no more. Ruth Wakefield and her husband sold the Toll House in the 1960s.
What is standard behavior? You've never tried eating cookie dough? Where are you from? Because there's cookie dough ice cream. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Eat the dough. You don't lick the bowl when you make cookies? Yeah, that's freaking delicious. Just eat the dough.
60s, but in 1984 it burned down, and today it's a Wendy's.
Oh, no.
But the Toll House legacy lives on in Massachusetts, and in 1997 the state legislature decided to name a state cookie, an official state cookie, and of course the chocolate chip cookie was going to get it, except
I always have to have a little bit of the
governor, William Weld, was a fan of the Fig Newton, which was also invented in Massachusetts.
I don't like Fig Newtons. My grandparents always used to buy them for me, and I would just give them to my siblings because I don't like Fig Newtons.
But a state representative and former employee of the Toll House decided that she was going to start a campaign for the Toll House cookie being the official state cookie. And she was smart and got all the kids of the state on board.
There
so
you
they
go.
came up with wonderful slogans like, when was the last time your mother baked you a warm batch of Fig Newtons? And Fig Newtons are a form of self-punishment.
And they are to me!
Well, after the results of a phone poll showed that the Toll House cookie was clearly the winner, William Weld decided to relent and name the Toll House chocolate chip cookie the state cookie, and the Fig Newton got the title of state fruit cookie.
A cookie is just a cookie.
Okay.
Newtons are fruit
Everyone
cake.
wins.
And the kids were not wrong. You don't really bake Fig Newtons at home, and you definitely do bake chocolate chip cookies at home, as I am, and the smell is wonderful. So
it's okay though, everyone won in the end. Fig Newtons are kind of a mini pie too, that's true. It's like it's not really a cookie, and it's not really a pie. And their texture is weird.
I think it's about time to take them out the oven. So once they've baked, take them out of the oven and let them cool on a sheet for 5 minutes, then transfer them to a cooling rack and let them cool until room temperature. And
I think now I'm gonna try these on ice cream because somebody said that, and that actually makes sense. Like, you put them on ice cream, that would be... Yeah, they're more like a little pie. That'd be actually really good because they're like a crunchy topping.
here we are, the original chocolate chip cookie and their World War II ration-friendly counterpart. So they're definitely smaller than most that you would find today. I guess it's about the size of a Chips Ahoy, but it's also a lot darker. And I think that is not due to time in the oven as much as due to just the brown sugar versus white sugar ratio. But they smell really good, and lots of big chocolate chunks, and lots of nuts as well. Let's give it a go.
That's very crunchy.
Crunchy.
Yeah, you can hear that.
I mean, it's a chocolate chip cookie. What's not to like? I wouldn't know that this was any different than the modern version. You know, I mean, it's all the regular ingredients. Not a lot has changed. So maybe it's time to try out the World War II version here, which is considerably more spread out because the dough was just so liquidy. But it's also made it so all the chocolate pieces, you can tell better here, are kind of in the center, and they're all like that. The chocolate chips haven't spread as much. Let's give it a try. So they're softer.
Oh.
They're good. They just aren't nearly as sweet. But there's like an extra flavor in there. That has to be from the maple syrup.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the flavor of like Raisin Bran a little bit, but with chocolate. They're
chocolate
actually
Raisin
quite
Bran.
Good.
I like Raisin Bran. I eat chocolate Raisin Bran. Sure, I'll try it.
And the texture it's not as crunchy, but it's really light. They're like almost pillowy. Which would I choose? I'm gonna go with the original. I think it's just a little.
It's kind of crazy that you've never had cookie dough ice cream either. Yeah, live for one. You got to tell us live reaction in chat. It's so good.
Sweeter, but this not as bad as I was expecting. I'm surprised, pleasantly so. So now we call these cookies here in the US, but in the UK they might refer to them as biscuits. And a little while ago, I filmed an episode with the boys over at Sorted Food where I tried several different British biscuits and talked about their history.
I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, if you've never been, like, taught to eat cookie dough, like, in America, where you just always eat the leftover cookie dough. Like, even in TV shows and stuff, it's like you lick the spoon. So, like, when you make batter for brownies or cookies or whatever, it's just, it's our cultural thing, I guess. I didn't think of it as being cultural, but apparently it is. So, that's interesting. I learned something new today.
So I will put a link to that video in the description, and I will see you next time on Tasting History.
Yeah, see, everybody learns something new. When something becomes so normal that you just like automatically assume everybody does it or everybody just doesn't do it, then you're like, wait, this is a thing? I have one that's just ASMR. Should we I don't know if okay. We're gonna have to do oh no, I'm gonna do more tasting history. There's a brownie one right here. Let's do the brownies.
Given the choice between a brownie and basically anything else, I will always choose the brownie.
A nice fudgy brownie is like my favorite. Man, put a brownie and some ice cream. It's so freaking good. Yeah.
Because I love them so much, but I ask, have they always been so freaking delicious? Well, we can go back to 1904 and make one of the very first recipes for brownies to find out. So thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video.
Were they fudgy brownies or were they cake brownies? What do you think?
as we endeavor to find the origin of brownies, this time on Tasting History.
How do you prefer your brownies, chat? Do you like fudgy brownies? Do you like cakey brownies?
So today I've decided to make one of the oldest recipes for brownies, which seems like it would be a simple task, but it's not so straightforward. See, the very first recipe for something called a brownie is from 1896, and while it's called a brownie, it doesn't have any chocolate. Instead, it has molasses in it. So that's not really what I'm looking for.
Soft,
and the oldest
chewy,
dish that is something that we would call a brownie made with chocolate.
I'm not a big cake texture fan. I always get ice cream cakes for my birthday. So yeah, I'm not huge on unless it has chocolate chips or something in it. I don't really want to eat a cakey brownie. You see more cakey brownies than you do with the fudgy brownies. I think that's because you can't. I mean, it'd be hard to sell really nice gooey fudgy brownies in stores. They should be able to sell them in restaurants. Man, they're so good.
Chocolate wasn't actually called a brownie. It was made at the Palmer House in Chicago, but it wasn't called a brownie until many, many years later. So I decided to go with the first recipe that is called a brownie and has chocolate in it, though even then there were two recipes published at the same time that fit the bill, so I just picked one. It comes from the Service Club cookbook published in Chicago, Illinois in 1904, and it's for Bangor brownies. Cream 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup sugar, add 2 squares, 1/4 cake baker's chocolate, melted, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup pastry flour, and 1/2 cup chopped walnuts. Spread on baking tins and bake 15 minutes in a moderate oven. So already 120 years ago, we have basically all of the ingredients of the modern day brownie. It's just that the ratios are a little bit different. But at least the recipe gives us exact measurements so we can recreate what it would have been like. Except there is one measurement that is a bit of a head scratcher, and that is the 2 squares or 1/4 cake baker's chocolate.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
How much is a square? Or actually, how much was a square in 1904, because the Baker Chocolate Company has been around since 1780, and surely during that period of time, the quantities of their packaging have changed. And they have, because when I went to buy Baker's chocolate, which you can still buy today at the store,
I buy Baker's chocolate.
a 4-ounce package. But in 1904, it came in an 8-ounce package. So we know that a quarter of the cake would have been 2 ounces. And so each square is 1 ounce. So for this recipe, what you'll need is 2 ounces or 57 grams of Baker's unsweetened chocolate. Then a 1/2 cup or 115 grams of salted butter, 1 cup or 200 grams of sugar, 2 eggs, a 1/2 cup or 60 grams of pastry or all-purpose flour, and a 1/2 cup or 60 grams of chopped walnuts. And once you have all of your ingredients measured out, you are ready to start cooking, which is something that I really appreciate from today's sponsor, HelloFresh, because when you get a package from HelloFresh, all of the ingredients are already measured out, so you just open that box and you can get right to cooking. Like last night, I made the street cart style turkey bowls, which were fantastic. They were so flavorful and they only took 20 minutes to make. And I love that they give you the opportunity to customize your meals. Like instead of rice, I could have had cauliflower rice. I didn't, I had the regular rice, but it's nice to have the option. And they have a lot of different options in swapping things out. You can swap out the protein or the vegetable.
This reminds me of Stuff Made Here's video, baking brownies from the inside out. From an inside out? Made an edgeless brownie. I want an edgeless brownie. That'd be so good. Center's the best. I mean, if you like crunchy, I mean, I understand people who like the corners because they are more crunchy. Like, I get that. But I don't want crunchy. I want a brownie. I want it gooey and melty and delicious, not crunchy.
And they have lots of meals to choose from that you can customize, whether you're a meat lover.
A neat engineering channel. It's a good way to watch too. It's kind of silly. Oh, okay. I will add that to my list. It's called Stuff Made Here. Okay, I'll remember that.
Or a vegetarian, pescatarian, or just looking for a recipe that's quick and easy. And they even have breakfast items like spinach and feta egg bites. And right now you can get...
Okay, don't buy breakfast items, guys. Eggs take 4 seconds to cook and they're very cheap. So I don't really know why we're buying eggs from HelloFresh. Like, that would be a very easy item to make.
Free breakfast for life when you click my link in the description or visit HelloFresh.com and use code FreeTastingHistory. That's one free breakfast item per box while the subscription is active. Just visit HelloFresh.com and use my code FreeTastingHistory. And now we are back to the brownies. So this recipe says...
Does HelloFresh offer any tasting history, like any historical recipes?
To cream the butter and sugar together. Often today, you melt the butter for brownies, but this has you cream them. Let the butter soften and then begin to beat it until it's nice and smooth, and then add the sugar and mix until it becomes creamy and fluffy. And then we need to melt our chocolate. So you just heat a couple of inches of water in a saucepan to boiling, and then set the chocolate in a heat-safe bowl on top of the pot, making sure that the bottom isn't actually touching the water. As it melts, give it a couple stirs, and it should be ready in a couple minutes. Then pour that into the creamed butter and mix. You want to mix for a minute or two to make sure that everything is well incorporated.
Not gonna lie, I'd probably eat that. Somebody just offered me chocolate butter.
But also to let the chocolate cool, because once you add the egg, if it is still hot,
he overdoes those.
Egg, and that's no good. So after
he overcooks the brownies, or he just over the top with the way he does his videos. We don't want burnt brownies here in the bakery. Oh no, he burns the brownies. That's a bakery sin.
After a couple minutes, add the eggs and mix until they're fully incorporated, and then you can add half of the flour and gently mix it in, then add the other half and continue to mix. And once everything is mixed together, stir in your walnuts, then your batter is ready, and you can butter and line an 8 by 8 inch baking pan with parchment and pour the batter in, making sure it spreads into the corners evenly. Then set the pan in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 Celsius for 20 minutes. The recipe says for 15 minutes, but I checked on mine at 15 minutes and it's still pretty much liquid on the inside.
Oh, the brownies are good. Okay,
you don't want to overbake them, though. You don't want, when you put a knife in...
Oh, yeah, we did those at the beginning. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we did the Aimvs at the beginning. Why do people use walnuts? I like walnuts. My grandpa grew walnuts, so... That's why I like walnuts, because that's what I was literally raised on. The almonds and walnuts are my favorite. I don't like peanuts. But they're not a nut, are they? Technically, they're like, what, a legume? You watch them to VOD. I seriously thought that YouTube was on. I don't know why I thought it was working. I need to do more pre-checks. I'm so sorry. Yeah, mild flavor. That's true. Yeah, they do. Dude, I didn't know what a pistachio was, and I ate a pistachio, and I was like, this is a peanut. I don't like peanuts, so I'm not a pistachio fan.
And pull it out. You don't want it to be dry. You want kind of a gooiness to come out, but it shouldn't be liquid. Once they're ready, set them on a wire rack to cool for 5 minutes, then turn out the brownies and let them cool completely before cutting them into squares. Now, like I said, this is one of the oldest recipes that is actually called a brownie that has chocolate. But a decade before this, another chocolatey, fudgy treat made its debut at the Chicago World's Fair. The year is 1893, and Chicago is playing host to the White City, home of the World's Columbian Exposition. Here you will marvel at the debut of George Ferris's Great Wheel,
look at that.
And you can tantalize your taste buds with new inventions like Juicy Fruit Gum and Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. And for a select few, they would get to try a square of chocolatey, fudgy goodness that was not yet called a brownie. So if you ever visit the massive Palmer House Hotel in Chicago,
really pretty building.
Which I did last year, and it is pretty
Bring
spectacular.
back pretty buildings.
You will be inundated with stories of the first brownie being made at the Palmer House, and it is still made there today, and you can actually order it. And I ordered it and ate it, and it was delicious. Not really a brownie the way that I would usually get it. It was much more dense, much more chocolatey, but still really, really good. So their claim that they invented it actually begins with the socialite and businesswoman Bertha Honoré Palmer, a woman described as beautiful, dashing, quick, and smart. And more than that, she was sure of herself. So it's no wonder that in 1891 she was selected to lead the board of lady managers for the upcoming World's Columbian Exposition, the World's Fair. These ladies were to oversee the construction of
We still have World's Fair, but they're not as big. I feel like when we were kids, everybody growing up is like, oh, the World's Fair. Like, these are all the monuments that they made for the World's Fair. And it's like, and now it's like, what do they do? I know that they do World's Fairs still, but we don't get those cool monuments or anything anymore. Like, Chicago, right? Like, they built that whole big town and then they tore it down after the World's Fair came. So that was sucked. Because it was really pretty.
Of the Women's Building and organized the World's Congress of Representative Women. This building was planned, designed, and decorated entirely by women, something rather unheard of at the time, and it was said that it will be a long time before such an aggregation of women's work, as may now be seen in the Women's Building, can be gathered from all parts of the world again. It's also worth noting that of the 12 main buildings at the exposition, the one entrusted to the Board of Lady Managers was the first to actually get constructed, no doubt due to the efficacy of one Bertha Honoré Palmer. But what does this have to do with brownies, you say? Well, the story goes that during their meetings, they wanted to have meals, but Bertha didn't want them taking away time to have a full meal brought in with servants and yada yada yada. So she asked her staff, her kitchen staff at the Palmer Hotel, to put together a box lunch for the ladies, and this would need to include a dessert that was smaller than a piece of cake and wouldn't require a fork to be eaten. Thus born was the Palmer House brownie.
Do you eat your brownies without a fork? Who eats brownies without a fork? I guess you have like the ones in the wrapper, but you eat it with the wrapper on. I've always ate my brownie with a fork. It's not really like a cookie. Like, even if you go to like picnics, you wrap it in a napkin. You eat it with your hands? Oh, okay. Maybe I'm okay.
It was a dense, chocolatey square topped with an apricot glaze.
Oh, okay, that's true. Dryer brownies. That's true. I eat fudgy brownies. I wasn't thinking about the cake brownies. That's true. Cake brownies. Cakes, yeah, you can eat cakes with your hands and pies, and you can totally eat it. Yeah, they're dry enough. I can see that. Okay.
And walnuts. And it was such a hit that it was not only served to the occasional guest of the World's Fair, but also to those who visited the Palmer House, where it is still served to their guests today.
Nice.
Now, this is the story that is told by the Palmer House today, and I have no reason to believe that it's not true, but I couldn't find any, period...
Cake brownies. I mean, like, you can hold a birthday cake. They make cupcakes, right? So, obviously, yes, a cake brownie would be.
Documentation that confirmed it, but still, great story. And they will actually give you the recipe for this brownie. But they say that it hasn't changed, and it is the original recipe. But it is definitely not the original recipe because it's written in a very modernized format. So who knows how it's changed? Maybe it hasn't changed at all.
I was going to say they just modernized it.
How recipes work over 130 years, I'm pretty sure it's probably changed in some way. So I decided not to make that one. I decided to go with the one from 1904 that we're making today. Also, that original Palmer House brownie was definitely not called a brownie. So where did the term come from? Well, it turns out in the late 1800s, the word brownie was everywhere. It was a really big thing, probably because of a book published in 1887 by Canadian author Palmer Cox. The book was called The Brownies, Their Book. And it was all about these little fairy-like goblins who come out at night in people's homes and sometimes help with the chores, and at other times play little pranks on them. These brownies were actually a part of Scottish folklore, and they went back for centuries, but Palmer's book gave them a new jolt of popularity, especially here in North America. One thing to know about these brownies is that basically they did work around the house. They were like little elves, little house elves.
This is really popular. Like when we were growing up, we always heard about the ones that would like make shoes for you. They also did something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. But I remember the shoe ones. They used to make shoes for somebody. So, European traditions always passed on even through our ancestors in America.
Elves, and if you ever wanted to get rid of one, you did so by giving it clothes. Seems familiar.
Brownies and Willow. The movie Willow? In Willow. I've only seen the movie Willow one time. It was a good movie, I just don't remember the brownies in it.
Here, yeah? Specifically, the clothes were called a brownie suit, and they became very popular with young boys at the time. In the 1897 Sears Roebuck catalog, there's an ad for brownie suits for children. Just the thing for a boy's everyday...
Yeah, I've only seen the film one time. Now I'm going to rewatch it and look out for the brownie reference.
A go-as-you-please suit. Our brownie suits will delight your boy. They are worn everywhere this season. Our price per suit, 50 cents. Also, I love looking at these old catalogs. Just the pictures alone are amazing. Look at these fancy little lads. I will put a link to where you can look at the whole catalog down in the description. It could take you hours. Another thing to know about these brownies is that, yes, while they did help out with chores from time to time, they also had a habit of stealing things, specifically keys. They might take your keys, and the only way to get those keys back was to leave a little treat, a little piece of cake or candy for the brownie. This was called brownie's food. And it is perhaps the inspiration for the name of a confection sold in that same 1897 edition of the Sears Roebuck catalog, where they are listed under fancy crackers, biscuits, etc., and were sold in 1-pound papers for 14 cents. The first brownie that we do know what was actually in the recipe is from Fannie Farmer's original 1890.
Oh yeah, I knew about that. Because I worked in libraries and stuff. So, well, not worked in them, but like I don't know. I like spent a lot of time in them, and I did work like the catalog at the school. While I digitized what are those called? With the books numbers, I had to sit there and do that for one of my teaching aid jobs. So, yeah. So I guess I just knew all that stuff because I just was in that library a lot. So I just Dewey Decimal, yes, that. So yeah, I helped to digitize the school library with from Dewey Decimal to the computer. So. I guess they just did a lot of library talking. I guess it's been around a long, long time. Oh, I think we were also looking up like ancestral stuff recently, and we saw all that stuff. So, yeah, I think it's really, really cool that they keep history around like that. But somebody also pointed out too that if you do that, they can also easily alter it. So, I don't know. I mean, we just have to keep enough copies around where they can't like claim that this is the real copy. So what do we need to be monetized on Kick? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really looking for monetization on Kick. I'm just here to have a good time, right? So maybe I will look into that and post that on my Twitter or something. That's interesting.
1986 Boston Cooking School Cookbook. But while it bears the name of the brownie and is cake-like, it's made not with chocolate, but with molasses. And so the question is, did it get the name brownie from these sprites, these little fairies, or was it just because it was brown? Or maybe it was a little bit of both. Who knows? It's a little more clear for a later recipe from 1899, where the Machias cookbook has a recipe for brownie's food, clearly named after the characters. And here, I feel like we are getting closer to what we would call a brownie today, because instead of molasses, it gets its color and flavor from chocolate. But the chocolate is not part of the cake, rather it is a plain cake layered with chocolate ganache and a creamy frosting on top.
I know Kick is a streaming website, so they want you to stream a lot, and I'm only able to stream once a week. So I think that's one of the reasons why on Kick I was just like, I'm just going to stream on Kick, and because I know like some people want alternatives to YouTube. I didn't know that I was going to be able to fulfill Kick's streaming. I think like when you get like past a certain level, you still have to stream a lot more than I can stream. So because that's what they want you to do. They want you to stream a lot during the week, and I can only really stream once right now. Maybe in the future, but right now I can only stream once a week. Maybe. Yeah, I'm still new. Like, maybe, like I said, in the future, I will be able to stream a lot later. But right now, I'm just kind of just using it as an alternative to YouTube so that people have that option if they don't want to be on YouTube.
The next time we see an evolution in brownie technology, it is in 1904 with the recipe that we're making today, and this is where we get to the second origin story for the brownie. Supposedly, it was in Bangor, Maine, and there was a housewife who was making a chocolate cake, but she forgot to put in the baking powder, and so when it came out of the oven, it was just flat, gooey, chocolatey goodness.
That sounds really good.
But if you're actually just forgetting the baking powder, that is not how that would turn out, because all the other ratios of ingredients are totally off. You would just end up with a very flat cake. But still, maybe the story has some merit. And I say that because this is not the only brownie that is called the Bangor brownie. There were a lot of different brownies during this time period that had the moniker of Bangor brownie. Also, I had to look up how to say that word, Bangor, because I've heard it banger before, but I was like, I want to see how people from Bangor say it.
Fair.
And so I ended up finding this wonderful video on YouTube from Bangor, Maine, that is like a public service announcement in the form of song explaining that it is pronounced Bangor, not banger. It's really, really good. You should watch it because the song is a banger. Anyway, over the years, brownies started to kind of become the same thing. And it is the Bangor brownie style that we see evolving into the 1920s and 30s and beyond, even to today. Really, the only thing that would ever change is the ratios of the different ingredients. Once in a while, you see these recipe outliers that add other things. Like there's the cream cheese brownie, and some of them I saw had cherries in them from one period. There's a 1926 recipe that has raisins. I love raisins, but I think putting raisins in a brownie should be punishable by at least some time in prison. But overall, brownies haven't really changed all that much. I know Katharine Hepburn had a recipe for brownies where she just cut the flour to like less than a quarter of a cup, and she said that made them super gooey.
Ooh,
and now you can
that sounds good.
Make them with a shiny top in different ways. I think that's mostly by melting the butter. It helps to do that. Variations, but essentially a brownie is a brownie is a brownie. And we're going to see if that's always been the case by trying these 1904 brownies. And here we are, the first recipe for chocolate brownies. So they smell like brownies. They look like brownies, though not as dark as the brownie that I would prefer. But I've seen brownies this color before.
Yeah.
Very dull top. It is cracked like a modern brownie.
Yep.
Very dull top. It doesn't have that shininess. But everything else looks the same. Let's give it a try.
It's good tasting. Can't go wrong with a brownie.
I love brownies so much.
Me
guys.
too.
I don't know how to express my adoration for this food. Even the worst brownie I've ever had, haven't had one with raisins, but every other brownie, even when it's really cakey, which is not my favorite, I still freaking love them. I like a more gooey, like fudgy brownie.
Yeah.
And this is more along those lines.
Ooh.
It's not as gooey as some today, but it's dense without being too heavy.
Oh, yeah.
It is chewy. It is chocolatey, more chocolatey than I expected, given the amount of chocolate in it. I would probably add another square, personally.
More chocolate.
This is a brownie.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
Really
Yeah,
hasn't changed much in 100.
Yeah, you're right. He's using his hands. I'm the weird one. Sorry. That's true. Yeah, he can still hold it with his hands. Hey, I don't know what I don't know. I just eat it with a fork.
20 years. I'm very, very happy with them, and I will be eating all of them probably tonight. I need to go buy some milk because I can't eat them without milk.
That's true.
They're just so good. So make these brownies. Go buy some brownies.
Tonight
do whatever you have to do.
Tonight is a night of learning. We now know what we now know. Should we watch another baking video, or do you guys want to watch an Aimv? Oh, break some brownies right now. That'd be so good. We just ran out of brownies here. I probably shouldn't make any more. I think I have heard of somebody eating a candy bar with a fork and a knife. I have heard about that. I think I've seen videos on that. Also, when you said that, it made me think of like fair food, because like the deep fried, like Snicker bars and stuff. I'd probably eat that with a fork. Yeah, I could watch a couple more AMVs. Yeah, we'll do some more AMVs. Let's go. We'll do this while I look for them. I have a list of.
Old man, those monsters.
Let's see. Oh, I've never seen a pasta video. Yeah, let's watch this pasta video. I've never seen this one before. Oh, okay. We'll watch pasta video. Aww. Oh, I like that black horse. It's so pretty. I like his style. This is really cool. Oh, this is the Mongolian one? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they did say, somebody did mention that to me. Let's go. I like his hair, or her hair, the blue hair. Whoa, that's cool. Talk about a moving castle. Wow.
Basilisk чаргылтай тухирэдүй тососның шагындык Марга шоухар бух хэрэгстэй шуур шиннэрэн дүрэлзэг Эсвэл прежудисэ шунда чангбэрэ тухин тосын замхар Мартыгды жазы болхыг хүсвэл тэгэлдэ Doing hatun gürült gürült Öşün suns Bas doing al Durült Nerdes juwe Utzin yaddal
That's so pretty.
Uçik drig berj bachad marga Stingirt nissuji yahwe Црохыг сонгох нь юу вэ? Хаалга түгжин юу вэ? Шин хэрэгсээ тэрсвэл тосон нүлд орой тоогүй шүү. Шин сүнс бас ирээдүйн хаан даллах Шин сүнс бас ирээдүйн дал дүрс Борчахар Шин зүсгэ тивэр Долгионырлы Sky Bros Songa Басыр
That was really cool. Whoa. Are all of his, that his normal style? Because that's really cool. I need to watch more pasta stuff. That's amazing. Dude. That was awesome. What the? Yeah, that was really good. How long how long has Pasta been doing this? Oh, he's got 1.1k subscribers. Man, he needs more. That's really good. Visuals were cool. Thank you, Jedi Survivor, for introducing me to Mongolian throat singing something I never knew I needed. That is really cool. Maintaining the thread of Mongolian culture is very cool. Yeah, I read a manga that's called, like, A Young Bride's Tale, and it really, really reminded me of A Young Bride's Tale, like, imagery. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it reminds me of that. So it's really pretty. I love how we have our own, like, cultural imagery that gets used in reference to, like, the seals. That's true. Yeah, the Sky Bros do. It's really awesome. Yeah, you guys are so talented. Is he Mongolian? Or, like, is he from that region, or is that his ancestry, or is he just interested in it? Because that's really awesome. With the internet, I don't know where anyone's from, you know? So, I think it's cool that we can interact with all these different cultures. I would just say it's just the theme he was going for. See a lot of different references to the Basilisk too. Yeah, the Basilisk, I noticed that was the red dragon. This is really awesome. Okay, let's watch another AIMV. Yeah, I'll watch a Mushi AIMV. Oh, okay. Sorry, it was lagging a little bit. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, it does not have the English subtitles because it says only Japanese. Mushi makes me cry, so much emotion, but this one is really cute. Mushi's so good at what I'm so glad he did that project. I'm so thankful. I'm gonna, like, study it, and that's my next project. I'm just gonna go through it and see if I can do. I might do it with the Sekiverse, actually. I'm so thankful for that. He's cool. I worked with Mushi on that one. Yeah, we worked together and he made that project because I really wanted to make it so that everybody had the tools available. He has one with English. Oh, he does have one with English subs. Only the one. I knew that he had one with English subs. That's the Magic and Monsters one, isn't it? But this is fine. I just wanted to make sure that if they had English subs, I would put them on. But yeah, I want everybody to be able to animate and have the tools and like with prompts and stuff. This one does. Oh, I see. It's in Japanese right here. JP, Japanese. Oh, so there's another version of this, is what you're saying. Is there another version of this? Oh, maybe not. Because this is, wait, okay, let me see. Because I know this says it auto translates it, but I mean, here, we could just use the auto translate, I guess. Okay, we'll just do that. I remember Mushi removed one. I really liked the creature puppeting the kid. Maybe because I watched it on Twitter. Oh, maybe you did watch it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. That's what I have available, so we'll just do it this way. I can't believe God made my Chun friends this cute. Oh, there's stuff down here. I'm just gonna turn it off. Yeah, he did his own subtitles. I just saw that. Naruto's on it. Oh yeah. Tommy works. I'll have to look at that one. That was cute. Yeah, this one right here, I worked with Mushi on that one. That's why I'm not in my normal outfit, because I was working on my Aimv. So he asked me for a picture, and I used that one. Itami works. It does a lot of music work as well. I wonder if I have anything from. Let me see if I have anything, or I could look. Itami works fun. Itami works. I might have spelled it wrong. Itami works. Over here. We're looking for... Is that the... Oh, no, it's right here. Okay. Okay, I found it. We watch a Tommy Works fun. There we go. Oh, I like this style. It's so cute. Oh yeah, thank you for hanging out and watching Aimvs with me. I love my cookies. This is really cute. This really is just fun, isn't it? They are... Here, I'll do this. They're really, really nice. Just having fun. Yeah, they are. Mushi made that dollhouse video? Mushi was the one that made that? The one where the little boy was like turned into a girl or whatever? I saw that. I saw Leaflet watch that. Mushi was the one that made that? Whoa. Yeah, that was really hard to watch. Oh my gosh. Man, Mushi can do it all, can he? Wow. No, that one was hard to watch. Yeah, no, it was good, but it wasn't good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was good. It was really well made. It was just hard to watch. This is fun. This is fun. I'll go back to it. Yeah. That was really nice. That was awesome. Thank you for showing me that. That was really good. Yeah, the truth can be brutal sometimes. I 100% understand that some people especially need to watch that. Like, I'm not saying that it shouldn't exist. I think it should, but also I don't want to be the one to watch it. That was really tough to watch. That boy dollhouse one. It's also it's especially as a parent, you don't want your kids to be friends with parents like that, you know. And like the more you expose your kids to other kids that you don't have knowledge of, you know, like public school to me just does not make sense when you have people my age pretending that their kids are dolls like that and treating their kids like that. I wouldn't want my kid in that house. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Yeah, some people. Okay, yes, that totally makes sense. Like a one-time watch kind of thing. Yeah. The message hit. I don't want to watch this any ever again. I agree with that. Yes. Like I just saw a Cineverse one that's like called "I'm Sorry," and I was like crying, and I was like, I never want to watch this again. Maybe it hit because I have two young sisters I worried about in this world. That is true. Yeah, it doesn't, you don't have to be. I mean, you can have nieces and nephews and everything, and you really love them to the point where you just don't want anything to happen to your younger siblings or your, nieces and nephews, or just like, yeah, two sisters. Yeah. I mean, any kid in your life, you just want to protect them, especially if you don't have the means of, keeping them out of scary situations like that. It's really, I think, yeah, like I said, it's good. It's eye-opening. I think people need to know that kind of thing exists. I don't want to, I don't want to watch that ever again. But yes, I do think that that was really, really good. I mean, she does really good work. Are there any other Aimv artists that I haven't watched that do good work that they deserve of? Yeah, back to fun topics. Anybody else want to watch anybody else that I haven't seen? That was really good. I've got... Well, thank you for joining my stream. I can smell dinner and I kind of want to go eat it. I'm going to I'll upload this onto YouTube. Thank you for coming over if you did come over. I think I follow everyone you do. I don't have anything great. Have a good evening. Yeah, have a good evening. Oh, tell me how you like the cookie dough raw, because the cookie dough is freaking delicious raw. Have a good night. Bye. Thank you. You created your Kick account today. So thank you for joining my stream. Bye.